Hunter Biden is now facing up to 25 years in prison after special counsel David Weiss charged the president's son with 3 felony charges yesterday afternoon. The first 2 charges accuse Hunter of making false statements on federal gun forms, while the third charge accuses him of illegally owning a gun while addicted to drugs. But Hunter's lawyer, Abby Lowell, says the indictment was caused by a pressure campaign from the so-called MAGA crazies.
This office has never brought a charge like this against anybody. Therefore, you have to ask what changed. It is the folks like Chairman Comer and the Republican MAGA crazies who have been pressuring this U.S. attorney to do something to vindicate their political position. And guess what? They succeeded.
I wonder if he would consider the 2 whistleblowers who are not Republicans MAGA crazies. And it appears the goalposts are moving yet again when it comes to Joe Biden's involvement in his son Hunter's business dealings. Remember, during the 2020 presidential campaign, Joe Biden claimed he never spoke to his son about his business dealings.
I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period. I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I never discussed a single thing with my son about anything having to do with Ukraine, because I never discussed with my son anything having to do with what was going on in Ukraine. I've never discussed my business or their business, my sons or daughters.
One of your son's former business associates is claiming that you were on speakerphone a lot with them, talking business. Is that what?
I've never talked business with anybody.
But that position changed. The White House recently claimed Biden was never in business with Hunter.
So I've been asked this question a million times. The answer is not going to change. The answer remains the same. The president was never in business with his son. I just don't have anything else to add.
Never in business. Now it seems Hunter's lawyers are pivoting once again, claiming the father and son, quote, never shared money.
What I can say categorically is that the president has spoken to this issue and his spokespeople have, and they're the best people to do that. From our side of the equation, I can tell you that Hunter did not share his business with his dad. I can tell you that he did not share money from his businesses with his dad.
Trace, we've come a long way when it's now never shared money.
Never shared money. And then he's saying from our side, we don't know what happened on their side, but from Hunter Biden's side, our side, they never shared any money. If I can steal this graphic, this is the best point. This Hunter Justice Department's handling of Hunter Biden investigation, we can put this up. It's really very telling because you have not very confident 28%, not at all confident 22%. The fascinating thing about this, extremely confident, very confident 19%. That means you've got 31% that are unknown. And that's really kind of deceptive. The bottom line here is, why are the charges being brought now? Why weren't they brought 5 years ago? That's the big question. You had the same evidence. You had the same information. You chose not to bring the charges. You chose to get a sweetheart plea deal. And now you're bringing the charges, and there's no explanation why. The only thing that Republicans can figure out and say is that it's getting as far away from Joe Biden as possible with these charges.
And meanwhile, Gary Shapley and Joseph Ziegler, the 2 whistleblowers, Molly, one's a Democrat and one has no party affiliation. So I wonder if they're part of the MAGA crazies to which the attorney referred.
Well, these are both great points. And to Trace's point about the timeline, perhaps the length of time it's taken is part of the reason why there's so much lack of confidence going on. Half of Americans say they have little or no confidence, but it's really divided greatly along partisan lines as well, with Republicans 79% say they have no confidence in this investigation. So that's worth thinking about too, that this is being perceived very differently depending on if you fall hard on one or the other side of an ideological line.
And meanwhile, our Fox poll shows that increasingly Americans are seeing Joe Biden as corrupt. I believe the latest number is 48%, Marie.
That's part of the Republicans' plan here, right? There is a reason, because they look at the same polling we do. I know it's shocking to think there are politics involved here, but when you look at particularly what's going on Capitol Hill with this impeachment inquiry, right? We know that Speaker McCarthy was pushed into this because he is holding on by the thinnest of margins. He has members who are threatening to, call a vote to vacate his position if he didn't do this. We know that. We know that Donald Trump, through multiple reporting, has talked to House Republicans about doing this to try and put a narrative out there that Joe Biden is corrupt because he's likely to be running against him in a few months for the presidency, and he's facing 91 indictments, President Trump is. So this is, in large part, a political game to use Hunter Biden's complicated life, and it is complicated, and I am not saying it's perfect, for political reasons, because Republicans think this can muddy the waters when their candidate is accused of 91 criminal charges. That's a lot.
But it's going to be very hard for the White House to get around Biden being on 20 phone calls with the business partners, at dinners, the litany of evidence we've showed, 20 pieces, in fact, this week.
Yeah, and I'd like to focus just for a moment on these recent gun charges because, you know, out of the mouth of his attorney who says Hunter Biden possessing an unloaded gun for 11 days was not a threat to public safety. He says it's all power manageable using political pressure. And the whole point, and this sort of answers, in my opinion, some of your statements, is that the president himself, ATF, U.S. attorneys, the AG, they have all committed themselves to prosecuting these kinds of crimes. I have 4 pages here of quotes, strengthened background checks. The president himself saying, if you own a weapon, you have a responsibility to secure it. And if you don't, you should be held responsible. Well, does that mean leaving it in a dumpster outside a school? And when they talk about the sort of, oh, no harm, no foul with lying on an application, ATF, the U.S. attorney, came out and said we will use all the tools available to us to pursue those who lie when trying to buy a gun. That's a 10-year in prison sentence for a reason. And if you want any other examples, I'll just conclude by mentioning a few names who have served multiple years in prison for lying on an application, including Eddie Wayne Morrison, Haley Leanne Atkinson, Joshua David Mosley. The list goes on. Hunter is not accepted right now for being prosecuted. He was accepted for it taking this long.
Yep.
Great comparisons and advice from our legal expert.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.